Welcome, everybody. We're going to be doing a podcast here to kick off our next tag tournament. We've got the hosts of the tournament all here. I'm helping out with it, and it's hosted by Murder Mastodon. This is your cue to say hello.
Sorry, your voice is doing that thing again. Hello.
And Evolution.
What up, guys?
We're going to be going over the tournament rules today. Most of those haven't changed. We'll also be talking about the format, and we're going to be announcing first round matchups. You can find the matchups later on the Phantom Dust Facebook page, or you can also check out the VOD of this on YouTube if you're not able to sit through the entire thing this evening for anyone who is watching currently. So that said, we'll go ahead and start with the format. We're going to be going back to the Swiss rounds format that we did in some of the previous tournaments. It was always very popular. We'll be doing 4 rounds of Swiss for the 16 teams. If you're unfamiliar with that format, what that means is the first round is going to be randomized, which we're going to be doing here tonight. And then after that, your second, third, and fourth rounds will all be based on seeding. So your first round performance, second round performance, third round performance, each round progressively will determine who you play in the subsequent round. So say you go 3-0 in round 1, you're going to play another team that went 3-0 or as close to 3-0 as we can get you for round 2. If you go 0-3 in round 1, that means you'll likely play a team that went 0-3 in round 1 as well. So we'll be doing that for that. After the 4 rounds of Swiss, we will have a cutoff. 8 teams will be cut. So if you are in the bottom half, you will be cut from progressing in the tournament. That's going to be our first cutoff. We go into playoffs at that point, where it is single elimination in the playoffs with 8 teams, and they will play based on seeding. Did we have anything? Did we have anything else for that murder? Was it just like first versus eighth, or did you have anything special you were doing for that?
Evo, what did you want to do with it? I know you said there was something. I liked your idea. I can't remember what it was now, though.
I'm not big.
I don't think it
on
works because we decided to do 8 teams instead of 4 on the cutoff.
Okay.
Well, the 8 teams versus 4 doesn't matter. It was the odd or even cutoff. So if we did top 7, it would work. If we did top 9, it would work. My idea was to randomize 2 through whatever our cutoff is, and then whoever came in first place gets a bye.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay. Is that what it was? Okay, yeah, that does not work in this
that doesn't work in
yeah.
this situation. So we'll be doing the 8-team cutoff. It'll be first versus eighth, second place versus seventh, and so forth, all the way down through. So that'll be how playoffs work. We'll have an eventual winner, and should be a lot of fun. That's the basics of the format. For the rules, I would like to turn it over to Murder and Evo to cover some of the rules.
Yeah, I'll cover the easy ones first. So we're doing, for each series, it's going to be a best of 5. So first team to win 3 games will be the victor of that series. Points being added afterwards. We will be using the same loser picks level that we did in the previous tournament. So all matches will begin on Palace, and then from there, whoever loses that level will pick the next level. You cannot pick the same level that you cannot pick a level that has already been played. Event of a draw, the team that did not pick the level that ended up on a draw picks the next level. If the first round of Palace is a draw, you move on to Highway, etc., etc. The only reason you should be able to play a level more than once is if you legitimately just run out of levels to play. We're not doing level bans or anything like that. We're just doing loser picks level.
And it's still best of 5, so it's to 5 games.
Yes. Evo, do you want to take the lag rule since you're the one who headed that one up?
Yeah, so the lag rule is pretty straightforward. We suggest that you do a lag test previous to starting your games. Choose not to, that's on you. Basically, you get... I'm trying to remember how I did it because we don't have it printed out. So basically, you get a lag out rule. Say myself and Zan are playing Murder and Ebony, and I lag out of the match. At that point, Ebony and Murder have a choice. They can either immediately return to lobby and do a one-time lag out rule, which is where the match will be replayed, or they can continue playing 2 versus 1, and if they lose to Xenxus, they lose the match. So it's pretty straightforward. Anytime after that, like if I lag out a second time on a different map, there is no more lag out rule. That match can't be replayed. It just are we doing it where the match just continues 2 versus 1, or is it considered a loss?
I mean, I
I'm
would
sorry.
say they can definitely play it out 2v1 if they want, but
Okay.
I don't think it
So
matters.
if there's a second lag out, you don't have the chance. There's no more lag out rule where you can replay the match. You basically 2v1 it and hope for the best.
Yeah, I think the
This
important
actually
thing
happened
to
to us.
remember is to test beforehand, so that way you don't run into the middle of the series and people end up upset and things like that. Test
Yeah.
beforehand.
Things
Play a game or two beforehand. Make sure there's no lag or people getting cross-lagged.
Crazy things will happen too. Last tournament, this happened. Highway, I lagged out with Xenxus on my team against Xexus and Sardonic, and they did not return to lobby to replay the match. They decided to continue, and they lost. Xenxus with +9 speed beat them both. So we suggest utilizing that lag out rule, guys.
What happened if
Things can
Xenxus
happen.
were to lose that match?
We would have taken a loss.
Yeah, I think the onus is on the one remaining player to return to lobby. So Xenxus was the one that
Yeah,
needed
so
to decide
someone
to play
returned
it
to
out.
lobby.
Somebody has to. Somebody has
Yeah.
to say, "Hey, I want to use this lag out rule."
Yeah.
That's what we're getting at there. Also, if you feel that even if someone doesn't lag out, but lag effect is bad enough where it affects the gameplay, can you go over that real quick, Evo? Because I'm sure that's going to come up.
Yeah, detrimental lag is very common with some of our entrants. Just record your matches and contact the moderator to review footage and see what can be done. As of right now, I don't know what we have as a contingency plan for that, but we will have something in place.
What we want is people to finish the series even if it's detrimental. If you already agreed on a time and you notice there's lag, continue the series, have the match recorded or something like that for us to be able to review, or everyone who's involved and try to figure out if it actually was or not. But we do want everyone to try to record their matches, one for our entertainment and two for reasons just like that. So
Right.
finish the
hangman rule.
series, and then we'll go from there.
So the hangman rule, we have a link that we'll provide with you or for you that will show a video explanation for those that need further instruction. But basically, it's a soft hang. So any environmental you place down must be placed on an object or level ground that cannot be destroyed. So at any point in time, if the ground beneath your enviro say sign, it disappears. It just happens to be one part of the map.
All right, we've got a video here.
There is no ways around it. There is no, oh, he used the trigger on me and forced me. If you place that enviro and the ground beneath it is destroyed, you will lose that match. So make sure you put your enviros on top of something that cannot be destroyed.
Yeah, I'm playing the video actually in the background right now. I figured I'd just pull it up and let it play. So.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Please watch that video if you're unfamiliar with exactly how it works. Because if you want to place environmentals and be tricky about it, you can still do that. I'm not going to go into the details here, but please watch the video and you can see exactly what I mean. But at the bottom, at the end of the day, long as there's still ground underneath your environmental, you are safe. All right.
Yeah. Does that cover all of the rules we have?
Yeah, let me look over it one more time, make sure we didn't miss anything.
Level selection, environmental hanging, format.
Yeah. Pretty basic stuff. We'll set up, I guess we'll cover this. We'll set up, just like we did in previous tournament, we'll set up team match chats, and we'll give you a deadline of about a week to finish your matches. To time yourself. We've all done this a few times now, but if you're unfamiliar, you do have to set up the time with your opponents and try to make something work. We all have jobs. We all, have our real life that we have to get to. So try to work with everyone else in the chat to set something up.
If you need an extension, please make sure it's something that is worth an extension. We're trying to move this tournament along quickly, but we're not heartless. We do understand life happens. So just come to one of us, and we'll try and work with you the best we can.
Yeah, but if you don't post in your chat for till the 6th day, and then you're gonna try to ask for an extension, you're probably not gonna get one. So try to be on top of it.
On the 3rd day, look to the east.
Thank you for that. All right, yeah, I'm pretty sure that covers that.
Yeah, more or less. So with that said, I guess we'll just roll the randomizer one more time because
let's
we promised to do it live.
Yeah, let's go over not discuss them, but let's just list off the teams real quick. I'll do that real quick. All right.
Sure.
So everyone knows. All right. So Tilt, Bregan 1, 2, 3, and some poor choices. We have Mirage and Darcia, Snowrise and Snow Schmidt, Murder Mastodon and Ebony Scarface, Dawn the Legend and Sleepy Inferno. We have the returning champions, Evolution and Xanxus. We have Shadow Shield and Zexus, Athen Show and Renketsu, the First Skaboss and Daffy Duck, Filthy and Mr. Math, Filthy Knigat, excuse me, SC War Machine and Sardonic Jester, Esper 51 and PDDCM, Kamikaze Mario, and I'm Kanye West, Silent 79 and Gotrix, Nathan O and Wolfo, and the last entry is Game God and Invoker of Legend. Just want to make sure we all knew who was involved.
I think one of the things that makes me saddest about not partnering with PDDCM in this tournament is that now I have to say his name more often, and it's a mouthful.
We're just going to call him Davio. That's the only time I'm going to refer to him as that. From now on,
PDDCM equals Davio.
Davio. Okay.
Because
Good
his
talk.
old gamer tag was far superior. Why did you ever change it? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the randomizer. It apparently didn't like what I did, so give me a second to refresh it. All right. And then I'm going to bring the teams over one at a time, so you'll see the match. I'm not going to bring them all over at once, so we get to tease it out of you one matchup at a time. Let's see here. All right. Now I need to pull up this right here. We'll delete that off of there so we can see it. I will have to say it audibly as well so that these guys can hear. It's easier for them that way. I would show the randomizer that I used, but it flagrantly posts my in-depth IP address, so I will not be doing that. That's not what I copied. All right, matchup number 1. Nathan and Wolf versus Game God and Invoker of Legend. So as we go through, we're going to talk about both teams here, and then we'll talk about the matchup. So we'll talk about the teams individually. We'll start with Nathan and Wolf because they were first on the list. We got the old vets returning, had some real deep runs and even a few wins under their belt in tournaments back in the olden days of Phantom Dust. They haven't been quite as active in the new release, but they've been around in several tournaments. Nathan used to help us organize these as well. He originally came up with our first Swiss system that we used, which is the basis of what we're going to be using in this tournament, although it's a little more simplified now. So we're going to see these guys come back, known for some pretty good jank back in the day, but they were kind of a slower-paced team who were starting to get outpaced by some of the faster gameplay that's been more prevalent in the re-release. What are some of you guys' thoughts on seeing these guys show up again?
I did not believe it when someone posted it. I actually had to check myself because I thought they were messing with me.
I went for a few calls this tournament about what teams I thought were going to come together, and they were one of them. Right about them, as long as a few others, and I'm excited that they're joining. I have yet to actually play them in a tournament setting.
Oh, hold on. Let me hit
every
the random
partner
again.
I've had. Every partnership I've had thus far in the tournaments, I have not gotten to play Nathan and Wolf yet, so I'm super excited. Viewing their videos, I have an idea of what to expect. But as far as anything else, I'm kind of in the dark on it.
Yeah, they were really well known back in the day for the memory lapse with the friendships and
Friendships,
alleviates
right?
doppelgangers. Yeah, they were really big into that. Basically, just hit like +4 damage Rian with +9 speed and doppelgang, and I mean it worked back in the day. It worked quite a bit. It's a bit of an unwieldy, slow setup compared to some jank these days, but it does work. And they always had good execution. I think the big deciding factor for me is if they come back and they're really playing the game. Like if they get some matches in, they don't need to play, put in 8 hours a day. But if they actually get in and play a few nights a week, I think they could be a force to be reckoned with in this tournament.
I'm always
Yeah.
excited to watch those videos too.
What about you, Murder?
I'm just like you guys said. I haven't played Nathan or Wolf since the re-release at all. I remember playing them back in the day, but so much, like you said, we saw in the previous tournament some of their slower jank was just, quite frankly, too slow for how
Murder.
fast-paced the game has become. Can you not hear me?
Can you put
Or
your
there's
wife
stuff in
on
the
mute?
Give me 1 second. To go away from the kitchen, because that's obviously where she's at. Come on. Okay. Yeah, we saw their some of their jank get outclassed by just simple speed, by the aggression that people run nowadays. So I'm curious if they're going to be mixing it up a little bit, or trying to tighten up what they already had. Either way, I'm excited to play. I hope I get a chance to play them because, like I said, they're a well-known team, and I haven't played them since the re-release.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun having them back in the tournaments. I think they'll put on a good show. I'm excited for that. And their opponents then, our last entrance into the tournament, so this is the newest pairing we have, is Game God and Invoker of Legend. Why don't you give me your initial hot take on that one, Evo?
Invoker's always been a good player. Very mechanical, very solid. Game God, I haven't seen a whole lot of action out of for it seems like 6 months to almost a year, probably. But from what I remember, he's pretty vanilla, pretty straightforward. I think it'll mesh well. They just got to center around Invoker's love for lasers, and I think once they can find a good, solid middle ground for Game God to run, I think they're going to be a pretty formidable team.
What about you, Murder?
I'm afraid to say this because Invoker's head may explode, but Invoker, in my opinion, was one of the sleeper players of the game. I feel like everyone the list as they should, and he found himself a partner who, if he practices, if he gets back on and puts the time in, I think they're going to make a good team. They're, like Evo said, I think their playstyles complement each other. Aggressive and they both play pretty vanilla. It's pretty straightforward, so that they got that going for them. And on top of that, Invoker's pretty aggressive as well. He's been trying to branch out, not just use the lasers on every level, including Panorama. And I think it's been working for him. He just has to get more used to it. But Invoker does put in the time to improve his gameplay, and I think Game God will as well, as soon as things start coming around. I haven't played with Game God in quite a while though, so I can't comment too much on his gameplay.
All right. Do we want to list the predictions when we do them, or do we just want to do predictions audibly?
Oh, definitely.
Let's list them.
All right. Okay, that's
I want you to do more work.
fine. Maybe I'll make an Excel sheet real quick while we're doing it.
I've actually. Oh yeah. I was gonna say I've got one. It doesn't have prediction.
Well, I'm the one doing the thing, so I gotta. Let's see. And then we'll say matchup. Bregan, Murder.
While doing this, I will
Evo.
say thank you to Game God and Invoker for becoming our 16th team. I know both of them were kind of on the fence whether they wanted to join or not. So thank you for deciding to join. And
yeah, it's good to have more participants. More the merrier.
well, especially players who people know a lot, like Game God. Even though he doesn't play as often, I feel like a lot of people know him because he used to do videos and stuff like that. And same thing with Invoker. He actually just pretty well known in our community, so it's cool to see him in it.
All right, so let's make predictions then. Evo, what's your prediction on this matchup and why?
I'm gonna give it a close 3-2. I'm gonna give it to Invoker and Game God though, because I have no personal experience with Nathan and Wolf. That's the sole reason. I think Invoker preps well. I think that he's well aware of what Wolf are capable of, and I think he'll plan for it accordingly. So I think it's going to be close. So I'm going to go with the 3-2.
What about you, Murder?
Yeah, we didn't even bring that up about Invoker. He actually likes to build arsenals and stuff, so throw that out there. He likes to for his opponents, and because of that, Invoker's time and the skill he has right now is going to be better than what Nathan and Wolf have just starting back up. I'm going to give it to Invoker and Game God a 3-1.
All right. I'm going to have to go against the grain. I think if Nathan and Wolf get on, play some games, they've got years of synergy together, fantastic arsenal coordination, and unless Invoker and Game God can come up with some real synergy early, I think that long experience playing together is going to be a key factor, and I'm going to give the victory to Nathan and Wolf 3-1. Actually, I believe in the old vets. Get this new shit out of my house. I'm sorry. I love you, Game God and Invoker. I just wanted to. I want to root for Nathan and Wolf. I think they got this though. I do. All right. So matchup number 2 then. You know what? We don't even need the Word document anymore. Just get rid of it. Go away. Since I'm doing this in the Excel sheet anyway. So let's bring them over one at a time. We've got Filthy and Math versus Kamikaze Mario, and I'm Kanye West.
Ooh,
It's going to be a fun
spicy
matchup.
one.
So let's talk about Filthy and Math first. As a team, give me your hot take, Murder.
I'm opening it up. So, Filthy and Math, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So, Filthy and Math, I think, they're going to have a hidden synergy because both are solid players. Math hasn't played in a while. And I don't know if he's going to be putting in the time this tournament, but if he chooses to, I think they're going to make a really good team. Filthy, I played with him 2 weeks ago now, and I don't know when the last time he played. I think he only started playing against that week, and he was still a very solid player. Still able to dodge, like he didn't take a break at all. Faith in that team. Hopefully, Math is able to put in a little time and build some arsenals and get some practice cartwheeling in to help Filthy's aggressiveness out.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the story for a lot of teams here. Is we got a lot of players that are kind of coming back from, I wouldn't call it retirement, but from a lapse in play. And so we're going to be looking to see how well a lot of these teams shake off the rust. And this team is not an exception to that rule. Filthy, we have seen in the couple weeks he's come back, because I played against him a few weeks back too. He looks like he's about the same player. So his level is going to remain about where he was before. And he had multiple top 8 finishes in previous tournaments, so he's solid all around. With that, Math has also had some solid runs in 1v1s, and he had one really deep run with Guinan, making finals in a tag tournament as well. So this is a team that could put on a real show if they're able to get some synergy and shake off the rust. Our other team is one of the exceptions to what I was talking about, though, Mario and Kanye. Evolution, why don't you take that one away from us?
I was just watching them not that long ago against Murder and Ebony in Murder's little stream he did, and they were putting in work. Like, I was very surprised. I watched Kanye dodge like a Willow, a Bolt of Fire, and a Fire Kahana all in one like cartwheel. Very nice. And then I also got to watch on City, Kamikaze just wrecked Murder with like a Oh my
Masa
goodness. What is that 10 damage damn sword?
Masa
Muramasa
Blade.
Blade. Hit him with a Muramasa Blade, like 6 or 8 damage of trash, and then lit him up with a 8 damage Fire Kahana and just wrecked him. So that team is pretty potent. I really like it. They're both very technical players. Kanye brings the whole jank to the table, and we all know how Kamikaze loves his fake key, kind of vanilla, straightforward, anti everything, along with four choices. I think they're going to mesh very well together.
Yeah, I think personally that's going to be a very strong team, and they're also one of the most in practice teams. They've played a lot recently, whereas so many other teams are coming in rusty. And the synergy, I think, is going to be fairly natural between the two. I'm sure even just in pickup games, they've played many games together. So I have high hopes for this team, honestly. Let's go ahead and head into predictions. Murder, since you hadn't talked about him that much, we'll have you go first. Tell me who wins this one and why.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go with Kanye and Kamikaze, just because I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it a 3-1 in favor of Kamikaze and Kanye because they have more time in Austin and Filthy and Math. They're gonna have to practice up, and I don't know if they're gonna do that before the series starts. And yeah, and later on down the road, Filthy and Math are gonna have better synergy. But I think this first round, since Kanye and Kamikaze already have it, they're gonna take it.
What about you, Evo? What's your prediction?
I got to give it a 3-0 for Kami and Kanye. They really impressed me a lot. I haven't seen Math on in ages. I haven't played with Filthy or seen him on in ages. I think that they're going to take it pretty swift and clear cut.
Personally, I think it's going to be a close series. If Filthy and Math show up and they play at a solid level, they're both really good brawlers. And I think that's enough to pull them through at least a couple of wins. I think it's going to be a close series. So I'm going to give it 3-2, but still to Kanye and Mario. All right.
A little closer.
Let's get on to
Prove us
matchup.
wrong, Filthy and Math.
What's that?
Just telling Filthy and Math to prove us wrong.
All right. Next matchup is Silent and Gotrix making their triumphant return. And they've got their jackpots ready for Evolution in Xanxus.
Their team name is Team Reluctant Jackpot, by the way.
So let's talk about Silent and Goat. Let's see. Murder, you didn't do this one. Go ahead and tell me about Silent and Goat making their return here.
Who did Goat play with in the last tournament? I know he played. I can't
Me.
remember. 2 tournaments ago. Man,
He played with
all
me in
kinda
the
mixed
last
up.
tournament.
And me before that.
It was even. Okay, I'm not even going to try to remember. So, yeah, I know in the last showing, Gotrix, but you guys still had, like you said, a deep run. I haven't seen him on since then. I think Silent kind of drug him back from the grave in order to be on his team on this one, which I love. I love the fact that both these guys are teaming up together again to play. Silent is going to bring, and he's going to do his thing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But when it works, he's going to get really excited, and it's going to make me happy that Silent's happy. I'm excited to see them back together, and I hope they get together and build some arsenals and do some practicing. But don't know if that's going to happen, but I hope they do.
All right. What's your take on him? You played with them too, Evolution. What's your take on this team?
This is by far my favorite meme team. They both crack me up when I play with them, especially Silent. But I mean, they have the past experience and synergy, so they could do things. Silent, I know, has been interested in opening up his style of play. I think he likes to mimic Esper's, attempt to mimic Esper's playstyle quite a bit. But with enough practice, anything can happen.
Well, I will say something I forgot to mention. Silent does have a variety of arsenals. He some people, Esper plays very straightforward. He plays like Esper, but Silent does have a variety of Arsenal that attack in different ways. So I'll give him some credit there that I forgot to.
Well,
Versatile,
I'm
I
going
think.
to reserve just this one flex for this one. I just want to remind everybody that when it comes to memes, when Rockshot and Jackpot went head to head, Rockshot won. That's all.
Do you remember Jackpot killing you though?
Hey, I killed him with a Rockshot to end the series. He played Jackpot on Refinery versus Rockshot on Refinery. And the Rockshot, we played, our partners were dead, and it was 1v1, and I killed him with the Rockshot. Rockshot won versus Jackpot. That's my flex. That's it.
Gets
Thank you.
one.
All right. Evolution and Xanxus. I guess I'll take this one since Murder took the last one, and Evolution is on that team. They are our returning champions. It's a very dynamic duo. They have a lot of variety. Evolution has always really enjoyed having his leash kind of let loose for creating wild arsenals. I remember creating several memes about him and his arsenal choices and crazy builds that he comes up with that sometimes they're effective, sometimes they flop, but they worked well enough in the last tournament to pull them out a win in one of our tightest tournaments that we ever had. We had a lot of parity towards the end of that tournament, about 5 or 6 teams all really close there towards the end, and they managed to get that win together. So this is a solid team. Xanxus, well known and arguably, a top 3 player in the game all time. Very, very solid player mechanically. So while Evolution often provides the brains, Xanxus definitely brings the brawn, and they work very well together as a team, and they can be very difficult to take down. So it's a very steep task for the meme dream team of Silent and Goat here, but yeah, we get to have the returning champions back, which is always fun to see as well. Let's get into predictions then. Evo doesn't get to make predictions because he's in it. So Murder, what's your prediction?
Silent and Gotrick 3-0 victory. Hold on.
Hold up, you
I'm
can't
gonna give
meme
it
that
to
hard.
Evo and Xanxus, but I do think Silent and Gotrix are going to take one. So I'm going to say 3-1 in favor of Evo and Xanxus.
All right. Well, I mean they showed to have the kryptonite of double cartwheelers, Xanxus and Xexus before. I think it's going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be a close one. I'm going to give them a 3-2 loss. So it's going to be Xanxus and Evo 3-2 because
I'm a jumper.
You're whatever you want to be.
Okay.
We don't hold to any specified norms here anymore. You are what you want to be on the day. All right, so that takes us care of that matchup. Do you have anything you want to add to that matchup, Murder or Evo? You want to add any trash talk?
I'm good. I like both of them too much to trash talk.
I think you hit it on the head.
All right, next matchup, we've got SC War Machine and Sardonic Jester versus my favorite team of the tournament, Esper 51 and PDDCM or Davio, as we shall refer to them.
Oh.
So let's talk about War Machine and Jester first. How about you give me that one, Evo?
Both are playing jumpers, right? So
Yes.
Yeah, they're both
dual
jumpers.
jumper against a cartwheeler jumper mixed. I'm gonna have to. I don't know. So SC War Machine and Sardonic, they're a new mix-up that I haven't seen before. I've never even actually seen them play together. But I like how they both play individually.
Do you have something
Okay,
you were
so
saying
Murder?
there, Murder?
Or my voice, my internet's cutting in and out. I was just gonna say I suggested these two be on a team because I think they're gonna have good synergy together.
Yeah, I
Sonic
know.
and,
War
War
Machine
Machine.
definitely heavily favors the Faith. At least from my experience, he plays a lot of the Faith, and he does it really effectively. And I got to say, he's had some good runs before. Back when he played with Skaboss, I think they had like a 5th place finish out of nowhere. Like nobody expected that team to make a deep run, and then they did. And then after that, he played with Murder, which we have here, his former partner. And I felt like he stepped up even more in that tournament. Like the Ska Boss War Machine, like they played at a decent level, but their finish was still a bit of a surprise to me. But while playing with Murder, his level stepped up even more. So I see SE War Machine quickly becoming an A tier player, and playing with another solid A tier player like Sardonic Gesture could be a really tough team if they're getting in the practice laps. What do you think, Murder?
Yeah, I think they're both Sardonic. If you watch his matchups with Zexus, he's very much a support player, but he can take aggro when need be. While War Machine is more focused on just being in your face, like you said, he really likes Faith. He doesn't mind losing some health to Fire Gahana. He's pretty straightforward player, like the Nature Faith combo. He likes being close up. That combined with Sardonic shooting you in the back while you're trying to do stuff is going to be. And they're both. They're good at dodging stuff for jumpers. Freya, and he can dodge. He was dodging like 3 vibration blasters in a row last tournament. Again, they're going to make a good team.
I'll never forget that. That was one of the most impressive things I've seen. It was on City, I think. Super impressive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember casting that. That was wild.
That was crazy. I yelled when he did it.
All right. Well, I'm going to take the pleasure of introducing the next team. This one, as I mentioned, this is my favorite team entering the tournament, and it might have something to do with the multiple tournaments I played with PDDCM, but it may also not. I think that this is probably my favorite for the tournament, if they have some synergy, and just favorite to watch in general. I love playing with PDDCM. I think he's, even after his tournament wins, still criminally underrated in the community. I think he's arguably a top 2 cartwheeler in the game. I don't think there's very many that can compare to him. I would say him and Xanxus are the 2 best right now. He's an exceptional damage dealer. He's very good at building and preparing for opponents. And he's now paired with another mechanically inclined jumper, Esper 51. So he's not playing with me in this tournament, but he's playing with Esper 51, who is very, very good in the 1v1 scenario and taking people, and he's been increasingly good in tag tournaments as well. After having some shaky starts in the first few tournaments, he's definitely picked up his game there, and he's a dangerous opponent that I think is going to be an excellent, accompaniment for PDDCM in this tournament. I think with him playing frontline and PDDCM playing damage dealer, these guys could really make a finals appearance very easily. What are you guys' thoughts on this team?
When you put together 2 of the most technically sound players and put them on the same team, the only scarier team I can think of than this would be Doom and PD, so pretty excited to play them.
What about you, Murder?
Yeah, I think Esper and PD are easily in the top 5 on my list. People of the game, they're in the top 5 for sure, and now they're on a team. I haven't played with Esper in a while, but anytime I've ever played him in a tournament match, he always whoops my ass. So I'm excited to see him play, especially against their current opponents. Last tournament, Esper really stepped up his game. You could see during his matches, you could hear him calling out stuff, which you didn't see him do in previous tournaments. He's like, hey, he's got a flash ult. Hey, he's got a flame sword. And he was communicating really well with Shadow
Hey, I've
Shield.
got a
PD,
nice sword.
People just know that. He doesn't have to say it. And PDDCM plays that same way. Gavio plays that same way when he's playing. He calls out everything. So they're going to have that level of communication just naturally. So
yeah, Davio is an excellent communicator, and just out of any partner I've played with in a tournament, he's easily he's one of the easiest to work with. We had a rocky start. We figured out how to play, and from right off of from there, super easy to play with. Very, very good teammate to have. So I'm excited to see the run they make in this tournament. We'll head into our prediction for this one. I think you can already guess what mine is. I'll go ahead and give it. I think Esper and PD are going to take this one. 3-0. What about the rest of you?
Oh, dang. See, I was going in the opposite direction. Well, not complete opposite. I think Esper and PD are going to take it as well. but I do not think it's going to be a clean sweep. I think they're going to have to fight for it. I think it's going to be a 3-2 in favor of Esper and PD, but I think War Machine and Sardonic could steal it.
All right.
But right now,
Evo?
I think that if Esper doesn't let his ego get in the way, because we all know how much he loves to show off, and he has solid teamwork and just meshes well with PD and everything goes their way, then I think they're going to take it 3-1. But on the opposite side of that coin, if SC and War Machine, SC, yeah, SC War Machine, I said them as two separate players. If SC and Sardonic continue to play as they've played previously in tournaments, I think that they could very easily, take it out from under them. I would say in a 3-2 fashion. So I'm kind of on the fence here. It all depends really on how Esper meshes with PD, I think. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, not everybody meshes well with PD and how he plays. He's very conservative and cautious, but also aggressive at certain when he has bursts of aggression. I like to think of it as. So if someone doesn't mesh well with that, I don't see them being a solid top team.
I don't know what you're talking about. Esper has his foot on the gas 100% the whole time.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. I don't think he's cautious enough in certain scenarios.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
I think that PD judges a situation very well, and based on that judgment, he decides what he as a team or he needs to do. I guess it all delves down to map awareness, but we'll see. But right now, I'm leaning towards Esper and PD with a 3-1 at this moment.
All right. Next matchup, we've got Affin Show and Renketsuo versus... Oh, dear. What did you do?
It's Renketsu and the...
Oh, it's Renketsuo. He's got a 0 on the end, and I'm pronouncing it. Too bad.
Oh, fair enough.
Too bad.
You're aware.
You put the number there. You can suffer the consequences. Versus the first Ska Boss and Daffy Duck. Let's get into Affin Show and Renketsu 0. Fine, I'll compromise. These guys are... To me, they feel like a lot of the same person in the community. I don't know why.
Far away.
What's that?
Very involved from far away.
Yeah, they've both helped out quite a bit with recordings and things like that before, and they like to play these kind of meme arsenals that are fun. And I've had multiple recordings of myself going over their arsenals, some with a bit of levity and some with a bit of hair pulling. But I think they're going to be a lot of fun as a duo together. I can't wait to see them play together because they're probably going to make all sorts of hilarious stuff to play. That or they'll just play their own hilarious stuff that they already had made and they won't coordinate it beforehand and it'll be just as funny. So either way, I think I'm going to be entertained by this team. What do you guys think about them teaming up?
I haven't played.
I'm
Affin
excited.
Show, I think ever. I don't think I've ever played Affin Show, but I played Renketsu like a month or two ago, and he actually really surprised me because I knew of him, but I never played him before, so I didn't expect too much of him. But he was actually a really solid player. Beyond just obviously knowing how to play, he was mechanically sound as well, and it caught me off guard. He was good for someone who doesn't play that often. And like I said, I can't mention Affin Show because I recall ever playing him, and I can't remember a match with him in it off the top of my head.
What's your thoughts?
Affin's fun to play. I would have been more excited if we had another Orange Baby. Affin Show.
I tried.
If we could ever have 3v3, Affin, Renketsu, and Orange Baby might be my ultimate meme team.
They are quite funny. So I don't think we'll have another Adapt. What was that he said you murder? Adapt?
Yeah,
Adapt.
Yeah, after he quantity K'd me
But-
playing Vibration.
So, but no, Renketsu and Affin are two very awesome players. I love playing with them. Anytime they're ever in a lobby of mine, I have a blast. I haven't played with either of them in a while though. I like Athen teases me. I'm part of the late night crew, and once in a while he'll jump in the lobby for like 3 seconds and then disappear. Won't come back. Won't send no messages. Nothing. This happens maybe once every 4 months. So he likes to tease me a little bit. I was hoping to play with him not too long ago, and that happened. But the times that I have played with them, they're very they're just fun. Who are their opponents? I'm so focused on them. I don't even. Who are their
Scaboss and
opponents?
Daffy Duck. Since you're already talking, why don't you go ahead and take those?
Well, both are a part of my late night. Sorry, caught me right with a mouthful of rice. I enjoy very much playing with both of them. We mix up teams every time we play, so I get to frequently play with both of them. And this is one of my favorite teams. Scaboss constantly shows out. Solid player. Daffy, of course, has improved every single tournament he's played in. And, you know, put him into when I played them at night, they have very good synergy. They mix well, so I'm going to have to, give it to them 3-0.
Okay, I'll go ahead and put your predictions down. What's your prediction then, Murder? Or, well, tell me a little bit about Daffy and Scaboss, and then give me your prediction.
I mean, I play with Scaboss pretty often and Daffy every now and then because he, past my bedtime, he usually likes to hop on. But both, like Evo said, are very solid players and they're just continually getting better. I'm glad they decided to be on a team. They're right about the same skill level and they both have great communication. So I think that's going to work well with them. I don't know if their play styles are going to mesh, but I think they're gonna make it work. Scaboss is very the way he plays, while Daffy's a little more linear. But I think they're still going to be able to make it work. And they also are two players who play. Some of these people we were talking about, like, are they going to put in the practice, this and that? Scaboss and Daffy. So I have high hopes from this tournament, and because of that, I'm gonna have to give it to them. 3-1 though. I think Renketsu and Athen are gonna take at least one to catch them off guard.
All right. Yeah, I think Athen and Renketsu, I think they're squirrely enough that they'll pull off a couple of upsets
Ears
here.
up there.
And
Earth to Bregan.
can you guys hear me?
So we lost. Oh, his mic's muted. Okay.
It's muted.
Mike's muted,
So
Bregan,
I'll
in
continue
case you
from
didn't
here.
know.
Oh,
Okay.
there. Sorry. Whenever I hit the little tilde key, it accidentally mutes me. So, yeah, I'll give my prediction real quick. I think Ren and Athen are squirrely enough that they'll pick up a few extra wins here. So I'm going to give them a 3-2 loss still. I still favor Scaboss and Daffy, but I think they have enough fun things they'll pull out that they'll throw Ska and Daffy off and pick up a couple of wins, with the caveat that they could take the series if they get a little luck rolling their way as well. Our next matchup then brings it to myself and some poor choices, otherwise known as Team Poor Bregan.
Please be
Team
Murder
Tilt.
and Ebony.
Murder and
Murder
Ebony.
and Ebony.
It's not. It is Snowrise and Snow Schmidt.
Oh, they're a fun team.
I had to have somebody convince me earlier that Snow Schmidt existed. I thought Snowrise was just pulling my leg.
I played him a few days ago. Yeah, for the first time. Yeah.
All right, well,
Zan
since
just
you
played
know
them
these
last
guys,
night.
take it away, Murder. What do we got? Snowrise and Snow Schmidt. Tell me about these kids.
I played like 3 games with them. Snow Rise and Snow Schmidt. Snow Rise has played in a number of tournaments, always hopping in and then practice. He actually, once he gets into the tournament mode, he's on regular and playing to improve his skill. So he has that going from Snow Schmidt. I played with him yesterday, and yeah, he definitely starting back up. But I think if he keeps at it, which he said he wanted to, practice for the tournament, he did say that they'll be a solid team. I see them all the time in the chat saying looking for groups, so they're putting in the time, they're playing. I haven't played Snowrise in a while though, but I know in the previous tournaments he is getting better and better every time I see him. But then he takes a long hiatus until the next tournament. But once the tournaments are around, he is practicing.
All right, I like it. Yeah, I remember Snowrise as well. I don't know Snow Schmidt, but Snowrise is a player. I've helped him out with some stuff before and taught him things, and I see potential in him, and I'm assuming Snow Schmidt as well. It sounds like they, based on the name, they at least know each other, so it should be easy for them to coordinate and play. So I'm looking forward to seeing what synergy they develop. Evo, do you have anything you want to add on those guys?
Yeah, me and Zan just did a little scrim against them either last night or the night before, and we were impressed. They got a pretty definitive win off against us on Palace. I mean, we literally could not do a thing. So they got some jank under their belt, and that's going to be fun to watch. I'd keep an eye on these two.
I think I'm not sure if it's. I think it was Snowrise in the 1v1 tournament. I was playing. I was just flame sorting around, and then he hung a memory lapse on me. I'm pretty sure that was Snowrise, and it completely caught me off guard because he did it in the first mat on Palace. He hung a memory lapse on me, and I had to dig through my entire arsenal, hitting him one capsule at a time. And the Snowrise is very let's say that, and he doesn't mind changing his game plan around in order to improve. Like some people are really stagnant and they like to play the way they want to play, but Snowrise is very willing to change it up. So, sorry, I forgot to mention that about him. I felt it was necessary.
I like it. All right, well, their opponents, I don't get to say much about myself other than please call us by our team name, Poor Bregan. We will not be allowed
No, it is
to be
Team
referred
Tilt.
to.
All right, so
Poor Bregan.
So Team Tilt.
Get out of
Here's
here.
what we got to say
Nope,
about Team
nope.
Tilt.
I can
Okay,
kick you guys from the Discord. It is Team Poor Bregan.
Can you let me talk?
Give me
please, sir?
this.
Okay, so Team Tilt. Okay.
Damn it. I'm already tilted.
I gotta get my thoughts. Me all up. All right, Bregan. He close in the last tournament. I can't remember. You messed me all up with that last thing, man.
I played with
Damn
Gotrix
it.
in the
Who
last
were you on
tournament with the legendary throw.
You got even with Gotrix. Oh man, that's gonna sound bad. You were able to make a pretty deep run in the tournament. Sorry, Gotrix. That's not what it is.
He did okay.
supposed to sound
He did
like.
all right. I don't know about
He had a
deep run.
photon shower, okay? He was there.
Bregan is, in my opinion, I say it all the time. I put him up near the top players of the game, especially once he gets his time in, because little hiatuses in between tournaments. But once he's putting the time in, I definitely put him at the top. He picks it up back up really quickly. Only thing is, everyone kind of expects what Bregan brings, but at the same time, he's such a solid player that what are you going to do about it? It's one of those types of situations. His teammates, some poor choices. With a very solid player, Bregan is going to be able to talk him into putting in some time. I know you guys have been on a little bit recently, which is good.
I haven't even heard from him in 8 days. I'm not sure he's alive.
He's a very busy man. I will say that. Make him put in some time, or if he's just going to show up for tournament matches. I think that's going to be a real defining factor with how well that team does. Is how much time to put in. I mean, not a lot of time, but just to pick himself back up to where he was before, at least.
Yeah, you hear that? Pick yourself up, you slob choices. Jeez.
I just hope and pray. Listen up, Snowrise and Snow Schmidt. I hope and pray somebody recall Luke's Blessed Rain and Place of Invisibility on these two.
You know what? Forget everything I said. I want that. Forget everything I said. I just want that to happen.
Just Blessed Rain and Place of Invisibility recall looped over and fucking over. I just want one team to do it. If no one will, I may have to convince Zan. Have to make it happen.
Well, geez, maybe I'll do it now. Maybe we'll just have a little dance off while we're all invisible.
I like it.
But yeah, as far as predictions, if Snowrise and Snow Schmidt do to them what they did to me and Zan on Palace, I'll give it a 3-1 to Bregan and Poor. But if not, I'm going to have to go. And I'm honest. I'm sorry. I'm brutally honest. This is my opinion. I'm going to have to go for a 3-0 in favor of Bregan and choices.
So what do you want me to put down, 3-0 or 3-1?
I think they're going to do it. They're going to listen to what I'm suggesting. So it's going to be a 3-1, possibly 3-2.
All right. Murder, your prediction?
This is a tough one because Snowrise and Snow Schmidt together are a solid team, and I don't think Choices is going to be. But I still think you guys are going to take it. So I'm going to say Team Tilt 3-2 in favor of Team Tilt.
Guys got no faith. No faith. All right.
Excuse me. I seem to remember somebody giving me a pretty shit score too.
Well, let's see. Well, you're facing my former partner, Gotrix, man. What do you want
He's
from
my
me?
former partner too.
Yeah,
So
and
let's
he's
be
gonna
honest.
kick your ass. So shut up. That's right.
All right.
Oh man.
All right. Okay.
Whatever, Team Tilt.
Get out of here. All right, we're down
You
to our.
boot him? Oh.
No, I didn't. We're down to our last two
I
matchups
looked at
of
my
the
phone too.
second to last. No, I wasn't gonna boot you. Second to last matchup, we have. Wait, that's not right. It is Murder Mass. Well, it re-copy pasted Snow Rise and Snow Schmidt a second time. There we go. We got Murder Mastodon and Ebony Scarface versus Dawn the Legend and Sleepy Inferno. Who knows about Dawn the Legend and Sleepy Inferno? Because I do not.
I
know
have
they
no clue
signed
who
up,
either
and
of
I
these
know they
guys
have
are.
a great attitude. Both those guys have an amazing attitude. They are very excited to sign up. But other than that, I know nothing about them.
I'm gonna give it to Ebony 3-0. Murder, he's
Well, I mean, if none of
Stuff.
us know these guys, we can't really make a prediction. So I guess we'll just have to put dashes in the middle here. I mean, that said, Murder and Ebony are probably my other pick for strongest team in the tournament. Aside, stop doing that, Excel. You're being bad. They're probably my pick for strongest team in the tournament, aside from Esper and PDDCM. So I think those are my two front runners right there, and then Evolution and Xanxus close in with them. I guess I'd say those are my three right there, my three front runners.
This is team defense.
Yeah, that's a team that's going to be real tough not to crack. Both of those guys play a lot of defense, and if they decide to abuse that and get crafty and nasty, it could be even worse. So I don't know Dawn the Legend and Sleepy Inferno, but they definitely pulled a difficult first round, is what I'll say there. What do you want to add on Murder and Ebony as a team there, Evo?
Well, I'd have to say, like I said, team defense. I think that Ebony is going to carry Murder kicking and screaming all the way through the Swiss rounds.
That's why I picked them.
That's not why you. I like I said, you said we don't know this other team. I've never played with either of them. I don't think I've even ever spoken to either of them. So, as of right now, I'm leaning pretty hard on these two. I admire the way Murder plays. I come to him often for Arsenal ideas, and we discuss back and forth between it. So we got a lot of history there. We'll see what happens, but I'm leaning pretty heavy on a top finish for these two. So that kind of shows what my prediction will be for round one.
One of my favorite things about this is the only time Evo ever says anything nice to me. Anytime we ever play, he's just like hitting me with blasters and.
That did happen. He did
You threw
piss
the
me
match.
off.
Okay.
I did not throw the match. We had a vibration
Anyway.
blaster off on the same team, and he got salty because he got in my damn way from finishing off Ebony and took a vibe blaster to the face.
Ebony had 8 health. You weren't gonna kill him.
I had a tiger strength on.
Ladies,
You
you're
did it.
both
Okay.
pretty.
No.
Okay?
Anyway.
Both pretty.
Anyways,
You look nice
don't
in
say
your
I threw the
dresses.
match. You're the one who hit me one time and refused to pick me up.
Anyway.
All right.
You know what? Dawn the Legend and Inferno, they're going to beat your guys' ass. And I can't wait to watch it. I hope they run Memory Lapse and Reduce Entropy and Force Sanctuary on you guys back to back to back.
All right. Last matchup. We have Mirage and Darcia versus. Anybody remember last
Zex
team?
and Shadow Shield.
Yeah, good one.
Oh boy.
Shadow Shield and Zexus. All right, let's talk about Mirage and Darcia. I think there are, somebody mentioned before, our longest running team now.
Our longest running team in a tag tournament. Yes.
Correction, Nathan and Wolf.
Well,
Okay, I meant
consecutive,
since
I
the
guess.
yeah, consecutive since the re-release.
But yeah, Nathan and Wolf. Otherwise, yeah, they've played together since forever. Yeah, Mirage and Darcia. Give me your thoughts on them as a returning team evolution.
They've always had some pretty interesting jank. They like to run this bundled blaster, which I've always enjoyed playing against and watching. They both run bundle blaster. I believe they run that on Palace. Keep that in mind.
Are we giving out ideas for people?
I mean,
Hey, I
let's
pay
be fair.
attention.
They
I'm
run it
just
pretty
passing
much
on the
everywhere,
knowledge.
so
No.
be ready.
I remember
Doesn't
when,
matter what map you're on. Be ready.
when Mirage was
Also-
playing with Beast guy, I can't remember his name. He ran Bundle Blaster like 3 times, I think, in 3
If I'm
different
not-
rounds.
If I'm not mistaken, too, didn't they come close to picking up off a win off a UNPD on lane with Vicious Balance?
Was that them?
I believe it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I know they do like to have the erased arsenals.
Yeah,
I
they
think
do.
Vicious
They
Balance
tend to
was
have a
there.
lot of the good reduced entropy, vicious balance. They like to dip into that nasty side of Phantom Dust every now and then. So teams got to be ready for big aggression, big hits, vibration, and for the dirty erase. They are a pretty well-rounded team, all things considered. And I think their first run together, they did make top 8. I don't remember their previous finishes, but I know they finished at least 8th place the first time they paired together. So
I like the fact they made arsenals from like the first tournament and then they just wrote it out. They're like, yeah, we're good. These are golden. We're gonna ride all these for every tournament ever.
As frequently as they play, I imagine that arsenals have not changed at all from the last
Yeah, that's what I
time.
mean. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. They don't play that often, so they just ride it out for a tournament, which is awesome. They're already ready. I mean, that's already more than what some teams are going to do. Some teams, aren't going to coordinate any arsenals at all.
Yep. It's going to be a fun one, guys. I'm excited. Zex and Shadow Shield. That is a team I did not expect together, and it is kind of terrifying. I mean, it's hard enough dodging Shadow Shield's, Psycho Bursts and Dances of Death. Imagine getting pelted with Stone Shot and Debris Bullet and Slide and Twist Laser while you're trying to dodge that, too. I think it's just not going to be fun, guys.
yeah, this is definitely my sleeper team. If they play to their strengths and they have some of that natural synergy, which I expect, like you're outlining, I think these guys could be exceptionally dangerous. I think Jester, who played with Zexus last tournament, might be an individually better player. But the whole idea just behind that, where Shadow Shield's running a lot of the dance in Psycho Burst, and he's so good at hitting it, while paired with probably the best harasser in the game in Zexus, I think that's a terrifying combo right there. I think that's a stronger combo than Sardonic, Jester, and Zexus were together. Even though I might like Jester more as a complete player, I think this team could be so incredibly dangerous. I would not be happy if this were my first round draw, just because I can't imagine a much more annoying combo than these two. My goodness, that would just give me nightmares and fits. What about you, Murder? What do you think about these guys?
2 people I didn't even expect to sign up for the tournament, so I'm just going to start off saying thank you guys for signing up. And just like you guys said, I think their styles complement each other very well. Shadow Shield is known for hitting some very dirty, big hits, and while Zexus is known for being the enabler for those big hits. We saw him do it with Xanxus multiple tournaments, and do it with Sardonic as well. Going to be very nasty together. The question is, are either of them going to be practicing, because they don't play at the moment very often? So I think that's going to factor into it a lot. But if they do decide to get on, they are definitely, like Bregan said, going to be a team that people do not expect. Both were very solid players for sure.
Excited to see them here. Let's go ahead and give out the predictions, and then if we have any final questions anybody want to ask, and we'll wrap up. So, Murder, give me your prediction for this matchup.
I'm going to give the Shadow and Zexus a 3-1 victory.
Same.
3-1?
Same. Yep.
If I could type, dear goodness. I'm kind of feeling the same. I think Mirage and Darcia, they've got enough fun toys that they're going to pull out a win, but I think Shadow Shield and Zexus are going to be incredibly strong in this tournament, and so I've got a lot of faith in these guys, so I'm going to have to give them the nod on the win here. So that wraps us up for predictions. Does anybody have any other questions or topics they want to cram in here at the end?
Yeah, so someone messaged me during the stream, and I guess I was not very clear about that, and I wasn't. That was my fault. So this is going back to the rules. The series is going to be first team to win 3 matches wins. I said best of 5, which assumes you play 5 games, and then that's it. But it's the first 3 games, just like we did in previous tournaments.
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
race to 3.
to
Sorry,
be fair, best
I
of 5
did say-
usually means first to 3 wins, but that can mean you have 6 or 7 games if you have some ties. Ties are a lot less likely in tag than they are in 1v1, in my opinion, so it's not as likely a scenario, but you may see some ties play to 3 wins.
It was a valid question, so
Yeah.
I felt like I had to bring it up. It wasn't very clear.
Oh, fair enough.
Who's everyone's dark horse?
Shadow and Zex is easy. Those guys they're not my favorites, but if they have the synergy I expect them to, they could be super nasty.
Well, let's do this. Who's your top 3? I don't care if you do it in any order. And then your 4th team would be your dark horse, I see.
All right, that one's easy because I've already said it. So Esper and PD, Murder and Ebony, Xanxus and Evo, and then my sleeper is going to be Shadow and Zexus. Not going to mention my own team.
Mine top 3 first would be Xanxus and Evo. Should have thought about this some more before I started talking. Esper and PDDCM, Kamikaze and Kanye, and then 4th dark horse would be, where is he at? War Machine and Sardonic Jester. There we go.
So mine would be Murder and Ebony as part of my top 3, followed by Kanye and Mario. I like them a lot. And Zex and Shadow. My dark horse is PDD CM.
You got them as a dark horse. See, me and Bragner's like, nah, they're pretty good. They're gonna be there.
I'm concerned about the synergy.
A matchup you're most looking forward to. There we go. Keep it short, easy one. Of the entire series.
Good, Bregan.
Just not in terms of like big name, but just a match you think is gonna be a lot of fun to watch. There we go. Let's say that.
I think Shadow and Zexus versus Esper and PD would be a lot of fun. I don't think either of those teams is really
the exact one I was gonna say.
I don't think either of those teams is really going to dip into anything nasty.
That's funny.
They're just both straight up going to brawl.
Punch each other in the face.
Yeah, they're just going to grab each other by the shoulder and slap each other back and forth until one person goes down. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Then, fine, I'll throw out a different one there. Nathano and Wolfo versus Mirage and Darcia. There we go.
The
Just
jank
because
off.
the jank will come out. Yep, I want to see it.
I think Ebony and Murder versus Kanye and Kami would be really fun.
I do that. That's like the only people I play with right now anyway.
I think I'll have to give another runner-up. I think Silent and Goat versus like another fun team like Mario and Kanye would also be a hilariously fun matchup.
Yeah. In the previous tournament, some of the most fun matches are actually like people we don't expect, like Snowrise and Snow Schmidt versus Dawn and Sleepy Inferno. Like matches like that are always really fun to watch, where we don't know what to expect from them, and they're just bringing out stuff that we haven't seen in a long time. Like, was that an illusion of death? Was that a freaking? What was that? I like seeing stuff like that. I know you used illusion of death yesterday.
I will never forget. I think it was War Machine
Is it
and
the city
Darcia.
match?
Yeah, the city match with War Machine
Oh, this
Garcia
is what I was
versus
gonna
Orange
ask about.
Baby. I will never forget
Were they
that
like
match. Where the man is
railguns one of them and then walked off the map?
Yeah, he railguns his Garcia railguns his partner to death, kills his own partner, and then falls off the map and dies himself to give them a win. In a live tournament match, no less. Like in a pickup game, like that's hilarious already, but like in a live tournament match, like it's just too good.
That is by far my favorite match ever to witness. I'm gonna have to watch that again tonight. I gotta find it in the stream.
When you find the link,
rewatch it.
send it to me because I want to watch that one again. My goodness, that
And
is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in a tournament match. It was amazing.
And then
I
the
don't remember
commentary
that.
to go with it, just in awe.
Well, because
Like,
like,
did
at
I
first
just
I'm
see
like,
that?
I was casting it, and I was just like, wait, how did the match end? They didn't deal damage to him. They had him with no attacks in the pit. How did they lose? Like, what? I had to like rewind it to see what happened. Like, I'm like playing detective over here, trying to figure out how they lost the match. Oh man, that was fantastic.
I'm gonna go back and look for that tonight. That is one of my favorite matches. Is there anything left to discuss?
There was one more thing, but I can't remember, so I'm good.
There's nothing left to discuss. The only thing left now is
I got a fun one. I got a fun one real quick.
Yeah, you just had to take the win
everyone-
out of sales.
He did.
Sorry,
he did.
everyone name a skill that is something uncommon that you would like to see one team use within the first round. Not a requirement, just like a shout out to, hey, you were listening to the podcast. Thanks for incorporating that in the arsenal.
Trigger. Someone use trigger.
That's a fun
No,
one.
Trigger's garbage. Dragon
I wanna-
Bullet, because I think it's actually an underrated mid-range attack that most people don't
I like
use.
it over Kai Bullet.
Well,
Yeah, I agree.
I like anything over Kai Bullet. Shit.
Oh yeah, Tiger Strength with
I
Dragon.
wanna
Breaks
see
slash
a-
hold. The other one doesn't.
I want to see a Gungner come into play.
I want somebody to tell me how that word's actually pronounced.
And gear. I don't know.
Gungnir? Gugnir? Gugnir? Guinan? I don't know.
Gagnon. So it's pronounced Gagnon.
How did you
From this
how did
day
you
forward.
partner with him
Speaking
for an
of
entire
Guinan.
tournament and still pronounce the G? It's Guinan.
Yeah, Gagnon. That's what I
Yeah,
said.
you keep
Anyway,
adding a second
so,
G. Tilted.
G's in there. Gagnon.
I say
can't help
Gagnon,
my
too.
accent. Oh yeah, speaking of Gagnon, players who did
No one
not
cares.
participate in the tournament, who you thought you were going to see.
Uh,
we have War Dog, Doom.
I thought we were going to
Kind
see
of did
Doom.
expect Gagnon. I did kind of expect to see Gagnon. I don't know why I thought he was going to come back. I was
He's
surprised.
sitting there on his Final Fantasy on his PC, laughing at us
Final Fantasy a
infidels.
lot. Infidels.
Guinan's too scared to come back and reclaim his throne for me. That's all. I took it.
Ooh.
He's
I
he's
took it
too
from
scared
you.
to take another loss like the last one.
I took it from you, and you can't have it back. It's mine.
Yeah.
I just want to know how you get on a team with Xanxus and go down like a sack of bricks.
Dang, lots of shots fired. Did not expect that.
I mean, okay. I'll be real. I don't know that there is any scarier combination in Phantom Dust than Guinan and Xanxus, and I was impressed that we won that series. I didn't think we could.
Yeah, didn't you guys like lose to the first two games?
Yeah, we went down real hard, 2-0.
Yeah, like
Like, they were
fast,
not
too.
even close. Like, they made us look stupid in the first two games.
Well, probably because Gagnon was running whack ass shit like fucking Muramasa Blade recalls and shit.
He didn't run that in the tournaments. He didn't play any of that stuff. He played very
He
straight.
ran that against Comrade Tutoru and whoever his partner
Yeah,
was. Like
well,
that
I
one
mean,
time.
in the later rounds, he didn't run any meme shit like that. No, but like when I played them in pickup games, I don't think I've ever felt so outclassed, which is rare for me to feel outclassed in the first place. But to feel that outclassed as I did when I played against Xanxus and Guinan in pickup games, I wasn't playing with PDDCM at the time, so I didn't have my own partner. But almost any other team, I can at least hold my own. But when I played against them in pickup games, man, they were disgustingly good. They were terrifying. That was a rough team.
Yeah, I
I'll
agree.
save my opinion.
So War Dog, Doom, and Gagnon, and Orange.
I was really
Even
hoping
though
to
he's-
see the return of our mad scientist, man. That is probably my greatest disappointment, is that
Yeah,
we don't
I
have
could agree.
Sandal in here to build some
Oh,
wacky
yeah.
stuff. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What,
All
I,
right,
what I
Sandal-
would give to see
Sandal,
Sandal
if
back
you're
in the
listening,
tournament.
If you're listening, Sandal, it's time for in the next tournament for the mad scientist to make a return. Me and you, buddy.
Well, I'll leave it standing too, because in the last tournament, I actually last asked him to partner with me in the last tournament. I'm partnering this time. I didn't talk to him about it this time because I'm playing. I already told Choices I would play with him, but standing offer. If there's ever another tag tournament, Mad Scientist, I would love to cook some real dirty meth with you. Let's make something. Standing offer, anytime.
I'd like to have a PSA. Murder, Macedon, and myself, Evolution, do not condone the use or cooking of methamphetamine. That is purely something that Bregan 123 is
I meant
apparently
methods.
okay
What are you
with.
talking about? Cook up some dirty methods.
Ah, good cover up.
FBI's listening. Stop. All right. Well, there's a few that we wish we could have seen, but we'll have to hope and see them in a later tournament. We have our field. We've got some fun teams to watch. We've got some great matchups for round one, and after that, it will be seed-based. So you will be facing teams based on your performance. I invite everyone to try your best, make a deep run, put up or shut up when it comes to it. That's what it comes down to. You gotta show your colors.
One last comment. We will be creating chats for your teams. You will have 1 week to complete them as soon as your chat is created. So be on the lookout in Messenger, guys.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and have a good night. I will end the recording here.